Most IELTS students hit a wall at 6.5 in writing task 1, but what if you could break through with just a few simple changes? That's exactly what we're doing for Priyanka today. So I'm going to show you the exact steps to turn basic informal letters stuck at 6.5 into a band 8 or even 9 answer with just a few simple changes. So the first thing that we need to understand about writing task 1 general training is the format that it always comes in. So the format will always be, you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. I would recommend that you do task 2 first, spend about 40 minutes on task 2, and then do this one at the end. What tends to happen is people who do task 1 first, they can overrun, and it means that they don't spend enough time on task 2. So do task 2 first, and then we'll do this one. What it will do is it will always ask you to write a letter. It never changes. So it will say, write a letter to, and it will tell you the type of person or who to write it to. And then there will always be 3 bullet points. And it will give you a scenario here. So it never changes. And being aware of this format will help us later on when I show you how to structure everything, because we're going to use the format to structure our entire letter. The next thing we need to understand is what type of letter you're going to write. So there are 2 main types of letter. There are formal letters. So for example, if you're writing a letter of complaint to something, or let's say you lost a bag at the airport and you're writing to reclaim your baggage or something like that, or applying for a job, something like that. The other type is an informal letter where you are writing to a friend. So some people online teach that there are 3 types of letters. There are formal, informal, and semi-formal. We never teach semi-formal. We don't think it exists, and we think it is a bit of a waste of time for you to spend time worrying about it. The only thing that you need to think about is, who are they asking you to write to? And the key word here is friend. If it says the word friend in it, it is an informal letter. You're going to write informally. Anything else, formal.
Really?
Yeah. Some people get caught up in, well, what if it's someone who I kind of know, but I don't know that well? And you do not have time to be thinking about all of this on test day. And you don't really have time to be preparing 3 different types of letters. Just do 2, and it cuts your preparation by 1/3. So we're going to be focusing on an informal letter. Don't worry about informal, formal right now. We're going to focus on the structure first, and then we'll write the letter, and then we'll talk about how to make it more informal. So we always start it with dear name. Because it is an informal letter, we just make up a name. Right? Don't overcomplicate it, pick a name. But for informal, we just go first name. Formal, you could use Mr. or Mrs. or something like that, but first name for informal. Then paragraph 1, why you're writing, or the reason why you're writing. So dear name, why I'm writing. Then paragraph 2, bullet point 1. So this one. Paragraph 3, bullet point 2. So it'll be this one. And then paragraph 4, bullet point 3. Okay. And then you're finishing it off, kind regards. Kind regards is because a lot of people get mixed up with like, oh, should I write yours faithfully or yours sincerely? What is like the friendly, informal one? Kind regards you can use for both formal and informal, because friendly, it does sound friendly, kind regards, and it does sound kind of formal as well. So just that, and then your name. Okay. So that's the structure that we're going to use, and it means that you can't go wrong. All right. In terms of number of words, the total number of words is you need to write at least 150 words. So what we tend to do is this should be about 50. This should be about 50. This should be about 50. And this is quite shorter. It's normally like 10 to 20 words, something like that. Now, you're not going to count the number of words, because you just don't have time. But what you should get used to is like, what does 50 of your words look like on a page? Or generally, what does that feel like when you're writing it? So if you get used to that, it guarantees that here you will write at least 150 words, and then this will put you over the line. If you are unsure, always go for more than less. We'll see when you start writing, but generally it is about 2 or 3 sentences. is
the
about 50 words.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more. Sometimes it depends on how long your sentences are, but generally 2, 3, 4 sentences, something like that, should get you over the line there. So let's just read the question and think about what it actually means.
It has been around 10 years since you finished your studies. You are thinking about arranging a get-together to mark this milestone with people you studied with.
Okay, so this is the background. This is what we're going to put in here. The reason we are writing to them is that. So you're basically taking that and paraphrasing it. So you're not going to copy it exactly. You're going to state, how would you say this in your own words? Okay, so continue.
Write a letter to a former college friend. In your letter, number 1, explain what kind of event you would like to organize.
Okay, so any questions about that? What kind of event do you think that you would organize for that?
For a 10-year reunion.
And pick the thing that's easy for you to write about. So probably if you imagine you are doing this, or if you've experienced this yourself, it doesn't have to be a college reunion, but it could be something very similar, like a family reunion, or even something like a wedding. You don't have to call it a wedding, but like getting together for drinks and dancing and, you know, or a meal and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Or it could be something completely different. But what do you think?
Probably like food, drinks, and like a game night of some sort. Like an evening of playing fun games.
So the thing to remember is, for this, it should be one thing.
It should just be one thing.
Yeah. So if you say like drinks and dinner and games, you could start off with like, would you like to meet for dinner? And then if you're running out of things to say, we could also play some games at the end. Could add that in. But I would try and keep it to one thing. What do you think is the most obvious thing?
Dinner.
Okay. So we'll put that down in our plan. Next one.
Number 2, give reasons why this would be a good way to mark the occasion.
Okay. Why would dinner be good instead of something else? You can make something up completely.
It would be dinner at a particular restaurant. That is where we used to have all of our dinners when we were back in college.
Old restaurant.
Shall I read the third one? Number 3, say what assistance you would like from your friend in planning the event. Probably contacting everybody, making like a group chat with all the numbers that I don't have, suggesting a date and a time, kind of coordinating with everybody, seeing what day works.
Excellent. So there's 2 things you could do now. One is you could just go straight into writing it if you have the confidence to talk about that, or you could add a little bit more detail. Normally I suggest thinking of 2 to 3 things. So for example, explain what kind of event you would like to organize. Dinner. So you're going to say it's at this old restaurant. What other things could you say about the dinner? Or what other things could you be doing at the dinner?
Going through the college yearbook and looking at pictures and seeing how everyone has had their glow up.
Okay. Anything else? Just specifically about the dinner. What do we normally do before dinner or after dinner, or?
What do we do before dinner?
Maybe it's different in where you're from, but we do something. We have drinks.
Oh, yeah. I'm not Irish.
We call them prinks.
Prinks?
Pre-drinks.
Oh.
Prinks. My sister called it that the other day.
Prinks.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah, we could do drinks.
Drinks, cocktails, that type of thing.
Take photos.
So it's good to have some ideas. What we want to avoid is writing just a list of stuff. So you don't want to say, let's go for dinner, we'll look at the yearbook, then we'll have some drinks, could even have cocktails, then we'll take some photos. So it's just like a shopping list of stuff. So it's better to like make sure that it's related to the dinner. So what I was thinking of, I'll not tell you what to write, but just tell you what not to write rather than tell you what to write. So why are we going to this old restaurant? What happened there? What are the good memories and things that we do there?
This old restaurant is where we all met together after our final exams. And it was our like goodbye, farewell dinner. So it's just nostalgia.
So it's good to put some nice vocabulary in there. Nostalgia and contacting everyone, setting up a group chat. I think that's probably enough.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. Okay. So we've done our plan. In the real test, this will take, because you know the structure, this will take like 2 minutes. Just like, but always use this structure and just put P1, P2, P3, P4, couple of bullet points, but just make sure they actually are answering the things that they actually ask you to do there. The next thing we need to think about is, are we using informal language. So what type of language might we use which is informal?
Slangs,
Good.
short forms,
Mm-hmm.
abbreviations like LOL and LMAO. What other language is considered informal?
Phrasal verbs,
Mm-hmm.
colloquialisms, maybe like from your local, like really local slang. Maybe avoid anything too rude. Most
Yeah.
examiners won't care, but you might get a prudish examiner who's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they said that." Try and avoid it making it all text speak, like making it all look like a
Just-
text message.
Yeah.
But the biggest one that so instead of I am writing to you, it'll be I'm. Okay. Do not, don't. So as many of them as you can add in, and then just write like you speak is a good like overall thing. So if you were talking into, like, let's say in a WhatsApp message, and you were just
Like
saying,
a voice
hey,
note. Yeah.
and then little things like, hey, you have to start it with dear.
You have
Dot,
to.
dot, dot, dot. Yes. So it says begin your letter as follows. In general, in the IELTS test, if you don't follow the instructions, they mark you down. And that's how a lot of people lose things. But I always start it with, I'm writing to let you know, dot, dot, dot. And then why you're writing, and then just continue on. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm writing to organize a 10-year reunion at
Eric's Chicken Palace.
with all of our classmates from 2016. Very good start. That's perfect. You could make it a little bit more informal. You could say something like all of the gang from back in the day, or all of the gang from 2016, something like that. But that's a little bit more of a creative touch, rather than, it would depend on what the rest of your letter looks like. It's not formal or informal at the moment, but if the rest of it was like this, where it's quite contained, there's no really informality about it apart from here, then I would be concerned. I'm not concerned at the moment, but let's see how the rest of it goes. But feel free to use more slang and formal words like that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
More like I say, speaking into a WhatsApp message rather than
A letter.
Yeah.
Copy.
Okay, so next one, explain what kind of event you would like.
What did your sister call it? Sprinks?
Pranks?
Pranks.
Don't copy me.
No. I just thought it was cute. Pranks.
If it's something that you're unsure, like, is this a real word, like that, for example, you can put it in quotation marks. And then that shows, like, I'm aware that this is not a dictionary, a word in the dictionary. It's kind of a new word. And that lets the examiner know that you haven't just misspelt drinks, for example. So yeah, throw it in there.
Can
So,
I?
Yeah.
Oh, great. We got to hit 50 words.
Just write it normally and then count it at the end. Is that the end? Yeah, how many words is it?
Just under 40, probably.
Yep, I'd probably add a little bit, an extra thing on. That's where, cocktails, photos. So in the real test, it's better to spend, 20 seconds thinking of these than to get to the end. But, what do I have to? What can I write about?
How can I extend this answer?
Okay, so could you read it for me?
We can start off with our infamous pranks session, LOL.
Okay.
Then maybe go through embarrassing yearbook photos while we soak up drinks with some spicy hot chicken like we did on our last day of college.
Excellent. And then the last one?
If we're able to stand on our feet by the end of it, we can take more photos to look back at another 10 years from now.
Yeah, so informal language, you've developed it enough and you've stuck to the main point, which is explain what kind of event. So it's drinks and then dinner and then maybe some photos. Good. So next, reasons why this would be a good way to mark the occasion. So just be careful. Sometimes you get here and you're like, I've actually wrote about that a little bit here. Like, and then you look at it and think, oh, that would be a bit repetitive. You can always change. Like, a plan is not set in stone. You can change things. So if you want to go with that, that's fine. But if you want to change it slightly to talk about why, and just note that it says give reasons. So you should give more than one reason, just to be on the safe side. Okay. So give 2 reasons at least.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can you read it, please?
Mike, Jasmine, and Rosh are all moving to Australia this year, and it got me thinking about how we desperately need to meet up again, all together in our favorite place before life inevitably flashes by. Plus, I think it would be a fantastic way to hear all about what everyone has been up to this entire decade. P.S. I heard Kevin and Ali eloped last November. I need all the details ASAP. I'm engrossed in this story.
So P.S. Would we put P.S. at the end, in the middle of a paragraph, or could we put that? Would P.S. be at the end? Technically.
P.S.
So P.S. is normally after you sign your name. I haven't seen
Really?
a P.S. in the middle of a... I might be completely wrong. Guys in the comments, am I being too picky? Or should P.S. be after? I've never seen that before.
Interesting.
And I've been teaching a long time. But why do you... Is that a normal thing for you?
Maybe I'm using it incorrectly, but I would just say PS, I would say it in a text message.
But is this a text message?
No.
In general, people watching, I would not do anything that is risky. That is
Taking a chance.
yeah, that is not what we would normally do. Don't take too many chances. So P.S.
P.S. I heard Kevin and Ali eloped last November. I need all the details ASAP.
Good. I would probably you could just change that to also.
Switch out the P.S.
I leave it in, but if you wanted to be super duper safe,
We have an option of
yeah,
saying.
put that also. So.
Or BTW,
By the way,
but that's two in the same sentence. Is that too much to say?
not really. And you don't want to be, again, under time pressure. You don't want to be saying, oh, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? That's why you hear me say ad nauseum, keep it simple. What is
Yeah.
the simplest way to do it? Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I do that now?
Oh, I'll leave it in because
Okay.
I'm being interested to hear what
Yeah.
people have to say about that. But.
Me too.
So always, once you finish, go back and check the bullet point. Give reasons why this would be a good way to mark the occasion. Is every sentence about that? Is the PS about that? Yeah? Good. Also, how many words was this?
Almost 60, like
60?
55.
Okay. So we know that in general, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So it's about 10 words per line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 60, 70, you're well above it. So
Oh,
that's
yeah?
a good way to kind of ballpark it because you don't want to be going in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
counting everyone.
Just be like, okay, well, generally, what is one line on this piece of paper or on the screen? What does that look like? And then, have a margin of safety. So you'll be looking at the clock and you need time to check at the end. So if you had a bunch of time left, you could fully develop this. But if it was, if you had 5 minutes left, I would just go 4 lines, kind regards, your name, and then spend the rest of the time checking it. So just be a little bit strategic on test day because time can be a factor for even someone like yourself. So off you go. Can you read it, please?
I don't have everyone's contact information like you do, so I would need you to make a WhatsApp group chat with everyone. Also, I'm thinking we can take photos with your camera since you're the only professional photographer friend we have.
Very good. Just be careful. That doesn't, to me, and to lots of examiners, that doesn't look like a full stop because it's just an extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that like every time.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
But this is an example of how someone who very high level of English, if you did that for most or half the sentences, you could get quite a low mark for grammar because they
So
see
think
it.
you're not putting in periods.
Because it is called a systematic error. Every time you use that system of punctuation, then you are making a mistake like that. So the way that grammar is scored is on the number of error-free sentences. They literally will count the number of errors. So if, let's say, half your sentences have that punctuation error, and then maybe you made a little article error or preposition error, that could bring you should be getting a band 9. That could bring you down to a 6 or a 7. So it's, an easy way to really boost your score is to identify those common mistakes and fix them. Even though, like, you should probably do the test on the computer. So you'd be typing, so it wouldn't be an issue. But, you know, there might be a test center where there isn't the computer-based test. You'd be doing it on this. So something to be aware of. I'm being very, very picky, though.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
fair. Yeah.
Just jumping in to say we have a really cool PDF with over 100 Band 7, 8, and 9 samples for Task 1. It's for both academic and general training, but there's about 50 letters in there that you can use. Maybe try the questions first and compare your answer with the samples from our students. If you want that, go to the description, click on the link, and you can download it for free. So how would you finish this? Very nice.
Without the heart.
Now what you would do is you would check 3 things. Number 1, vocabulary. Is there any vocabulary that you've repeated too many times? Or is there some simple vocabulary that you could maybe make a little bit more advanced? You don't have to do that. It is only if you can 100% sure, like, if I change it to this, it is going to be correct and it's good. Second thing is, are there any small grammatical errors? You're aware of that little thing with punctuation. So I would definitely check at the end of every sentence for you, or if there's anything else. And the third thing is there any way that we could make it more informal? So if, for example, do not, you could change that to don't. I am, you could change it to I'm. Or if often there's an adjective in there or a phrasal verb or something that you could add in. Is there anything that you would like to change? Classmates, the gang. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on the abbreviations like ASAP, LOL, only use them if they are widely known and widely accepted. So LOL, everybody knows what that means. ASAP, but I wouldn't start using less common ones. I'm in my 40s, so I don't really know what people use these days, but I'm sure there are some that people use that, you know, some people would know them, most people wouldn't know them. I would just be careful with them. So a good rule of thumb would be like, if your grandmother would know it or not, if she would, that's okay to use it. Or I'm older, so would my mom, my 80-year-old mom, understand what LOL or ASAP means? That would be okay. If in doubt, don't use them. All right. Because a lot of people will spend a huge amount of mental energy worrying about stuff like that. Like, should I use them? Should I not? It's not adding anything really to your letter. It's not like the examiner is going to see LOL, ASAP and think like, this person is being really informal, let's give them a high score. So if unsure for anything like that, just don't use it. So that was how to write an informal letter. If you want to know how to write a formal letter, we have a full free course, which you can access here.